Aloha everyone, and welcome back to Aloha Jen's Beauty Blog. For those of you that are new here, hi, my name is Jen and I am a licensed esthetician in the state of California and I love makeup. So if you watched my video yesterday, I picked up two of the new Hourglass holiday palettes. I picked up the Swan palette, which is the medium color story, and I picked up the Deer palette, which is the light color story. So I did a video yesterday on the Deer one, and I apologize, that was not my best video. I was really rushed in that video, and I felt pressured to get that up right away, so I apologize for that. Today, I hope this video is a little bit better. I try to keep it as short as possible, but we're playing with the Swan palette today. Now, I do have the horse palette coming from Sephora. I think probably next weekend I'll do a roundup of all three of the palettes and let you know which ones is my favorite. I'm gonna play with these this week, these two, to get a better feel for it instead of my first impressions, because right now my first impressions, I will give you a spoiler, it's not great. As of right now, I'm preferring last year's palettes, and I'm thinking like this might be the last year I purchased these, because I just purchased my first two last year and I love both of those, but these two just are not doing it for me. I'm just going to be straight up. Maybe, I mean, you'll see what I'm talking about, but let me know what you think of what they look like, because as of right now, I felt like I got slapped really hard on this side, and then I look like a glowing, bronzing goddess on this side from the Swan palette. But I'm sorry to do a spoiler alert, but I hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to give me a like. It really helps me out when you like my videos. I need you guys to like my videos, because likes are still down. I just don't understand it. I guess people don't like old school YouTube. I am old school, but like this video, leave me a comment, an emoji down below to help support my channel, and subscribe if you're new here. I would love to have you part of this, part of my space here, our community. And you guys are gonna go into this video, and don't forget, if you're interested in these, use a discount code. I'll pop 2 down here. It'll get you 10% off. And I'm not sure if these will be available for this Sephora sale, because I don't even know if these are going to hit Sephora since they have the exclusive horse palette. But if they do, I will keep you posted. And that horse palette will be in store at Sephora on September 19th. And I think you can order it online right now, or it might be waitlist. They might have just had early access and then they're going to release it on September 9th everywhere. But it should be in store on September 9th, just so you know. So if you're interested, make sure you get to Sephora on September 9th, because I have a feeling that that one is going to be sold out, because a lot of people really love all the colors in that palette versus what's in here. So we will see. All right, I'm rambling. I'm gonna let you guys go. I love you. Enjoy the video. Aloha everyone, and welcome to this demonstration of the new Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked Holiday 25 Swan palette, which is for medium skin tones. And here she is. She's so pretty. Now, this video will hopefully be a lot shorter than yesterday's video. I probably shouldn't have filmed yesterday. I just felt really rushed in getting that video up, and I was being rushed by my husband too, because we had somewhere we had to go. So I apologize. So hopefully today will be better. Now, I have already got my complexion on. I am using the Chantecaille Future Skin Gel Foundation in the shade Nude All Over. And then for my concealer, I'm using Vanilla underneath my eyes. I may add their the Stilo, or the Camouflage Stilo in shade 3 after we're done with the eyes. So I'm going to start with the eyes first, but I'm going to go over what's in this palette. So we have 4 new shades in here. So the finishing powder is actually Dim Light, which you can buy in the permanent collection. We have a new highlighter, and this is called Golden Hour. I hear that this is pretty blingy, intense. And then we have Natural Bronze, which was found in the Evil Eye palette from last year. We have Mauve Fusion Blush, which it looks like a plum berry blush. I'm kind of worried that this might make me look like I have a rosacea flare-up, but we will see. We have Sunset Peach Blush, which this one I hear has a really pretty gold shimmer to it. Some have said that it kind of reminds them of NARS Orgasm. And then we have this one. What is it? Is it Intense Coral? Something coral. I forgot the name already. I just looked it up before I came on here, and you see my memory, especially today because I have been up since the wee hours of the morning. Luminous Coral Blush is what it is. So my feelings and thoughts are that these two are going to be both shimmery, and then this one is going to be more of that, just have a sheen to it, almost like a satin finish on the skin. So let's get into this. I'm going to start off with my eyes first, and then at the end of the video, I'll hold up the Evil Eye palette to this. And I'm not going to hold the palette up because yesterday I noticed when I was doing that, I was blocking a lot of the camera. So I'm going to go into Natural Bronze here, which is also in the Evil Eye palette, which I love this bronzer. I'm going to grab some of this and start this in my crease here for crease contour, as we are going to be using these on the eyes too. So one side of my face, I'm going to do Mauve Fusion, and then on the other side of my face, I'm going to combine in Luminous Coral, Luminous Coral and Sunset Peach for a blush look. And then I know that I think pretty much the blushes that we're really curious about in this palette is Mauve Fusion, since it's a different type of blush for Hourglass. So I love this bronzer. This is my favorite bronzer from all of my palettes that I have. And I'll give you an update on the Deer palette and what I think about it after my wear time with it yesterday evening. I had it on for about 4 hours. So with that Deer palette, I think it's too light for me, and it would be best for me to use as topper shades over cream powders. But however, it is really soft. I do have to play around with it a little bit more. I was thinking like maybe a soft matte foundation that's a little bit lighter than what I am now would be good underneath that. Like my Prada foundation would probably work better with that. But I will continue to play around with it. But I will tell you, I just found that it was extremely light compared to last year's Dragon palette. Now, and also I think like if you are fair to light and you are a cool undertone, I think that that bronzer will pull really warm on you, because as I was wearing that palette, the bronzer kind of got really warm and it became very luminous. So that bronzer is pretty luminous, just so you guys know. Okay, so I'm building this up a little bit because I think I might have put too much setting powder on my eyeshadow primer, which it's just the Makeup by Mario Bisque cream or liquid eyeshadow. And then also these Hourglass palettes are meant for the face, not the eyes. So they're not as pigmented as an eyeshadow. Did you guys see that? It looks like Natasha Denona is coming out with a midi sculpt palette, 2 of them. So I wonder what that's gonna be like. Okay, so eyes look good for right now. Now let's go in with my other Nikki LaRose brush, and I'm gonna go in with this Sunset Peach, so we can get an idea of what how luminous this is. Oh yeah, this is pretty luminous. Oh, but it is a really pretty peach color. You know what I think I wanted to do is I'm actually going to go in with Golden Hour highlighter, and I'm going to apply that on my mobile lid and then go back in with that Sunset Peach. This is what I really originally should have done, is apply this first and then went in with Sunset Peach. Now this Golden Hour highlighter, it's like a champagne gold. It looks more gold on my eyelid, so I'd be curious to see how intense this will be on the face and what it looks like on my face. I think that the highlighter in the Evil Eye palette from last year had more sparkle in it than this. All right, so now I'm gonna go back in with Sunset Peach blush. And I'm just going to apply that right here, a little bit in my crease and on my mobile lid. That is really, really pretty as an eyeshadow. Really pretty color. What I like about these palettes this year is they look, you know, like they'll be pretty in wintertime too, not just like spring, summer, because the blushes last year were pretty intense and bright, where this year it seems like in each palette you have something for all year round, especially winter. Well, at least in the Swan palette and the Fox palette. Okay, so there is that Sunset Peach as an eyeshadow. Now I want a little bit more intense color. So I'm gonna go in with an luminous coral and just add this a little bit more down below on my mobile lid. Just want it to peek through a little bit. And I'm using the Nikki LaRose, what is this, the N13 brush. Now I'm gonna go in with my Rephr 03 brush and I'm gonna grab some of the Natural bronzer, and I'm going to use this as my liner, just like what I did yesterday. I like to demonstrate these as you're going to use them as a full face palette, because that's the reason why I buy them, is because for travel, I want to see how they're going to look on my eyes too. Because I don't want to bring a lot of makeup in, I just want to bring one of these palettes. So my horse palette, the Sephora exclusive, shipped. It says it will be here on Wednesday, and I did get the matching brush with that one. I don't have any Hourglass brushes, and I wanted to try that one, and the horse one looked really pretty. I wanted something with a darker handle versus a lighter handle. Okay, so there we go with the eyes. So I'm just gonna pop off camera really quick. I'm going to powder and I'm going to apply my mascara, and then we're going to come back for the bronzer all over and the blushes and the highlighter. Okay, I'm back. I went in with the Tower 28 Make Waves mascara in brown, and then I did my Sephora Coconut liner in my waterline. This is I got this idea from my friend Sarah. She really loves these Sephora 12-hour liners. And this coconut one is really perfect in your waterline. It's just like the perfect amount of brightness. So thank you, Sarah. Sarah has a channel here on YouTube. Her her channel is Revamp and Radiate with Sarah B. I will pop a picture of her channel right here. You guys should join her if you like, you know, sitting down, if you love makeup and you like sitting down, you know, like how you do with me. She's just real, and she just started her channel. So go ahead and go follow her. I love her. She's got an upbeat personality and a beautiful makeup application. And she's become a friend of mine now, and we chat. So go support her, please. So I am gonna go in with the natural bronze, and I did powder my face. And today I'm using the Makeup by Mario powder in number 3 Neutral Peach. And I'm going with this one because I wanted something without fragrance, because what's been going on is my allergies are killing me. And so I wanted something that was fragrance free. Now I am going to go into the Deer palette, and I'm going to grab Dream Light finishing powder, and I am going to place that underneath my eyes for some brightening. I'm going to do that before we do bronzer and blush, because dim light, I think, will just be a tad bit too dark for underneath my eyes. I prefer dim light as a true finishing powder to you know, melt everything together. I do like it here on my brow bone to blend in the eyeshadow, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go in with this Rephr 14 mini and grab dim light, and I am going to use this on my brow bone and to soften that line of that bronzer. Okay, put the finishing look on the eyes. I really like how the eyes came out. These two blushes look really pretty on my eyes. They make my eyes pop along with my dress color. Now I am gonna go into that Golden Hour highlighter, and I am going to put that here in my inner corner. Yeah, this I can really see it a little bit more right in here to where it is pretty blingy. I might have put just a little bit too much. So you gotta be careful with this one when you apply it to the cheeks. All right, now we're ready for Natural Bronze bronzer. So if you have the Evil Eye palette from last year, then you already know what this bronzer looks like. But I'm just gonna start out and apply it to my forehead. And then I'm gonna go here underneath my cheeks. See, as you can see, this bronzer really shows up on me compared to the one in the Deer palette. That Deer palette, I had to build that so crazily. And the more that has a lot of luminosity to it because it is a marbling. And just so you guys know, the more you build that up, the more luminous it's gonna look on the skin once it starts, you know, mixing with your skin oils and everything. If you have dry skin, you won't have that issue, but if you have oily skin, or if you get oily on your forehead, oh boy, it was just so luminous and very kind of like an orangey warm on me as the evening progressed. Okay, I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and put it down the sides of my nose. Okay, that bronzer is so pretty. Love this bronzer. Okay, now let's go into these blushes. So let's do Mauve Fusion first. And I'm going to go in with this Rephr 04 brush. I used a Rephr 19 for the bronzer. And I'm just going to tap into this. Wow, this is pigmented. There you go. And then I'm going to put that on this cheek. This blush is pretty pigmented, and a little bit goes a long way. Wow. So I probably should have only tapped into that once, honestly. Wow. That is pretty bright. That is brighter than what I was thinking it would be. But I'm going to, after I do the highlighter, I am going to put the dim light finishing powder on it to tone it down. That is definitely not what I was expecting on me. It's kind of like a more of a bright pink, maybe like that cold girl look for the wintertime. We'll see. It's kind of like a berry pink versus a mauve. So that's interesting. I don't know if I like this color. Now I'm going to go into an intense coral, and I'm going to grab this on a Nikki LaRose N15. And I am going to try to focus this right back here. And that's bright too, gosh. Okay, let me grab another brush. Do I have a clean brush? Let me just grab this other Nikki blush brush and kind of blend it in a little bit. Okay, so this is Intense Coral. It is pretty intense. So Intense Coral and then Mauve Fusion. Both very, very bright. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this brush that I just used to blend this out. I'm just gonna make sure. And then I'm gonna take this Sunset Peach and put this on the apples of my cheeks. And then blend that into Intense Coral. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, so I will say that Mauve Fusion blush, it looks a little patchy here, and I know I applied my powder pretty well, so maybe I probably should have used a different brush for this. Okay, so let me check out my skin. Okay, both are really, really pretty, but I need to tone them down because they look so bright on me right now. So bright, but very, very pretty. I think I like the Intense Coral and the Sunset Peach better on me than this Mauve Fusion. But like I said, let's see what happens when I tone it down with the dim light. It might look better because dim light is going to like blend all these together. Now, before I do that, let me go in with the Golden Hour highlighter. Just gonna grab a little bit. Wow, that is intense. And put that a little bit here in my cheek. That is really, really blingy. Really blingy. Oh, you gotta be careful with that on the face. I'm not so sure if I like that. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go into dim light. I'm gonna grab it on this Sephora. And I'm just going to blend this over these blushes to kind of melt everything together. And then I'll do a little bit on my forehead too. Alrighty. Oh, I forgot. I'm gonna take this out. I have a clip in there to hold it in place, so I can get the full effect with this with my hair down. And then I'm gonna go in with the Edam Guava Fresca Softening Lip Balm. And what do you guys think? I'm not so sure if I like this one. It's not really what I was expecting. I don't know, I have to play around with it. I don't think I like this Mauve Fusion blush on me. I just think it's a little bit too bright and not the right color of pink for me. I'm kind of feeling a little bit defeated with these palettes. I think I'm gonna have to play around with this one just a little bit more just to get a better feel for it. But as a first impression, I like the Intense Coral and the Sunset Peach blush better with me versus this one. I think this one looks like it's too much. But I will play around with it, maybe do a lighter application next time and make sure that my powder is really set, because I do have this patchy mark right here that obviously I probably just didn't set very much, but I don't know. Let me go off camera and take a look, and then I'll come back with my final thoughts on this palette. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I'm gonna share my final thoughts with you. So I do prefer the Evil Eye palette from last year. And the reason being is that the highlighter definitely I thought was prettier and it wasn't as intense as this highlighter. Also the blushes, I do prefer the Intense Coral and the Sunset Peach. But what I liked about these blushes from the Evil Eye palette is they weren't so shimmery, and I find that the blushes are super shimmery in this. So if you have texture, this Swan palette is going to enhance the texture in your skin if you apply too much. So this would probably be better over a matte foundation for me, because since the Chantecaille foundation does have, you know, that really natural skin finish, but there is some radiance in it, it just really enhances all the shimmering qualities of this blush. Although it doesn't, like, my skin doesn't look textured or anything, it's just definitely a lot more glowier than what I expected. And all three blushes are like that. But with this one, the one that has the most glowing, shimmering properties is Sunset Peach, but I do like this color. So I do like this, but I prefer last year's. So, and I really hope that the Horse palette doesn't disappoint me, because these two palettes so far, I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of regretting my purchase, honestly. The packaging is really pretty, and I am now leaning towards this one for the blushes versus the blushes in the Swan palette, because the blushes in here are not as shimmery or radiant on the skin. They're definitely a lot prettier in my opinion. If you're worried about texture in the skin, or if your skin looks too luminous. But these are here. I have to keep them because I use them now. I will continue to play around with them and I will report back to you guys. So I'm gonna take off the sticker here. Yay! I did it. So I say the standout for me with these palettes this year is the artwork. The artwork, all of them look really, really beautiful. I'll pop the Horse one up right here. So the Horse palette, there's no new shades in that, but I think I'm gonna like that one better for me, because those shades all look really gorgeous and something of what I'm really looking for versus these palettes. But I will play with these this week, and then I will report back to you next week. My Horse palette will be here on Wednesday, so maybe tomorrow, which is Monday, I'll play with the Swan palette tomorrow. Tuesday, I'll play with the Deer palette. Wednesday, I'll do Swan again. Thursday, I'll do the Horse palette. And Friday, we will see what happens from there. But if you're on the fence about these palettes, I would say just go with what your gut tells you to do. Like, if you had hesitation of picking these up because you weren't sure about the colors, and it's just weird, like, you know, hearing everybody say, oh, you know, they're so beautiful and they're so great, but I definitely think last year's palettes were a lot prettier. And I love the blushes from last year better, how they look on my skin. This Mauve Fusion just really looks like I'm having a rosacea flare up. So that one, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I will report back to you guys and let you know. As of right now, I'm very disappointed with this purchase because I spent a lot of money on these and I thought that they were going to be super beautiful, just like last year. And both have not wowed me. So like I said, if you're on the fence about this, if you're unsure because about the colors, and I would say skip it and save your money and put it towards something else, in my opinion. I'm just really not happy with my purchases. I'm so sorry. It's kind of a downer. It put me in a downer mood, and I apologize for that. So let me know if you guys want me to pop on and show you a look with the horse palette when that comes in. I could probably do that maybe, I don't know when, maybe not until next weekend, just depending on how my work schedule goes. If I get off early one day, then I will be able to do it, but I'm not so sure. But I'm sending you all so much love and light. Thank you for bearing with me during these videos. And all your love and support, it means so much to me. Don't forget to give this video a like, leave me a comment down below, and subscribe if you're new here. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a beautiful week ahead. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.